Welcome to Sessions at the Princess. I'm Dylan Russell, and today we're here with singer-songwriter Billy Wright with his bluegrass collection here at Sessions at the Princess.
But for me, tomorrow's another day. Yes, for me, tomorrow, another day.
What exactly is bluegrass?
It just kind of has a little faster beat, and it's kind of a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 versus a 4-4 or a 2-4 or something like that. You know, it's just it has its own beat. It's kind of a little fast beat, and of course they have banjos and mandolins and those type of instruments in a lot of bluegrass. I mean, that's the defined thing: the banjo and the mandolins.
What got you interested in writing bluegrass music?
I just thought I'd give it a shot because I like to write music, and I like to write all types of music. So I want to do some bluegrass, I want to do some jazz, I want to do some country, I like to do gospel. I just like to write songs, and I like to take on all of it, you know, whatever comes to me. If it's bluegrass, it's bluegrass. If it's whatever it is, it's just what I want to do. I just like to write songs.
Well, can you tell us the difference between bluegrass or country or gospel or the way you write the songs?
Not really. This song I'm going to do first today, Blue Ridge Mountains, it just, to me, has a bluegrass feel to it, you know, a faster feel. Now, I don't know that I can play it. I mean, I've played it several times with some boys with the banjos and stuff like that, and it, you know, it does all right, but I don't have those instruments here today because we're just doing a songwriter session here today. So the most important thing is to just to do the songwriter session and not have the banjos and mandolins and all that stuff in here. So the only purpose is just that.
Well, would you like to play Blue Ridge Mountain?
I'll give it a shot.
All right.
I was born in the Blue Ridge Mountain, not too far from Tennessee. I was raised in the Blue Ridge Mountain, not too far from Tennessee. How I love those Blue Ridge Mountains, how I love your Tennessee. So I was raised in the Blue Ridge Mountain, not too far from Tennessee. I grew up in the Blue Ridge Mountain, I grew up Tennessee. Just tell my gal that I really miss her. I'm on my way back to Tennessee. How I love Blue Ridge Mountain, how I love you, Tennessee. I was raised in the Blue Ridge Mountain, not too far from Tennessee. I'm going back to the Blue Ridge Mountain, I'm going back to Tennessee. Tell that gal that I really miss her. I'm on my way back to Tennessee. How I love those Blue Ridge Mountains, how I love Tennessee. Yes, I was raised in the Blue Ridge Mountain, not too far from Tennessee. I'm not too far from Tennessee.
Welcome back to Sessions at the Princess. We're here with singer-songwriter Billy Wright. Hey, so can you play any other instruments?
Not really, no. I mean, I can bang a little bit on, you know, I've tried a little bit of fiddle, I've tried a little banjo and a little piano. I can just kind of hit a few notes, but no. I'm really not a musician anyway. I'm more of an owner than a musician. I never did claim to be. I just used my guitar as an instrument to write songs is basically what I do.
So basically, you just use it as a tool.
It's a tool.
Well, what kind of instruments do you think go with your bluegrass music? Sound the best?
Always banjos and mandolins and fiddles. Those are the three things, and bass. Of course, those are the three things you need for the bluegrass.
Okay. What about your family? Do you come from like a musical family, or have anybody else in your family that's musical? Or?
Not a whole lot of them. I've got a brother that plays the harmonica, and I have a half brother that played the guitar early in life, but they've just kind of beat around with it, not done nothing with it, of course,
Okay. Any kids, grandkids?
I have kids, yes. I have one child, and I have 5 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids.
Oh, wow.
So.
Well, how many albums have you produced?
I've done 9 complete album CDs with 10 songs or more on each one of them. I've done 9 complete.
And then what studio do you usually go to for that?
I've used Nashville, Bayou in Nashville, Tennessee some, and I use Cumberland Sounds in Oak Ridge, Ron Coates a lot. That's where I do most of my recording now. I have a little more time there to work on songs and to lay them down, you know what I mean? I'm not really pushed, where in Nashville you're kind of, it's pretty expensive in Nashville, so, it's a little cheaper and a little closer around here. And Ron and Hal Duncan work with me real good on my stuff, and we're in the process of doing, I think, either my 9th or 10th album of just songs that I wrote,
Yeah. Well, out of all the genres you do, do you have a favorite song, or?
Well, I don't know. I probably not. I kind of like them. I like what I like, and I just
all the same.
I just do what I do. That's all. And liking something, I don't never say it's good or bad or whatever. I just do it, and I hope that that somebody will like it, and I hope it serves a purpose. I got a real good email the other day from a lady where I played in Nashville at the. Out there at the Texas Troubadour Theater, and I got a real nice email about the Little White Church song that I done. And it was really heartwarming and really made me feel good to read that email that she sent. It was worth writing the song and singing the song just to get that one email from her. I appreciate it when people appreciate my music, and that's just what music's about. Music and having fun and enjoying and maybe giving someone a little lifting and a little enjoyment. Music's to be enjoyed.
Yeah. Well, you have another song prepared for us?
Yeah, I'm going to try another song I wrote called Tomorrow.
All right. Well,
and I'm going to try it in A. If it doesn't work, we'll switch gears and go back to another key. So.
You'd say that you're leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow is just another day. You tell me you won't be back tomorrow, but for me, tomorrow's another day. Oh, tomorrow, that's what you tell me. I just won't stand in your way. You tell me you won't be back tomorrow, but for me, tomorrow's another day. Sometimes a man needs a woman. Sometimes a woman needs a man. Sometimes a man takes a walk. Sometimes a woman takes all she can. Oh, tomorrow, that's what you tell me. I just won't stand in your way. You tell me you won't be back tomorrow, but for me, tomorrow's another day. You say you're leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow, just another day. You tell me you won't be back tomorrow, but for me, tomorrow's another day. Oh, tomorrow, that's what you tell me. I just won't stand in your way. You tell me you're leaving tomorrow, but for me, tomorrow's another day. Yes, for me, tomorrow, another day.
Welcome back to Sessions at the Princess. We're here with singer-songwriter Billy Wright. All right, Billy, where do you usually play your bluegrass music?
Our bluegrass, we play kind of around locally around here. We play some at Don's Barbershop on Thursdays. At about 1 o'clock, we go there and just jam a little bit for a couple hours right here in Harriman. And then back a few years ago, I played downtown Rockwood, some bluegrass down there, you know. But I've never really had a bluegrass band, complete band. You know, most of my stuff has always been country, and we just throw in a little bluegrass every once in a while, you know. Sort of do whatever we want to. I've never been with a bluegrass band, you know. And I just play anywhere that I can get a microphone and play.
Any particular place you prefer to play at?
Well, you know, I do some stuff in Nashville now. Once in a while I go to Nashville and I do a little bit of stuff on the streets out there, you know, in some of those restaurants and stuff. You can go in Nashville and play, you know, if you're, you know, some people know you, a few people know you. You can get in the wagon wheel and you can go to Tootsie's and places like that, and you can play around Nashville. So what I do when I go out there, I'll do 2 or 3 country songs and 2 or 3 gospel songs and 2 or 3 bluegrass songs. So I don't really tie myself down to bluegrass or anything. I like to do all different types of music.
Well, depending on where you're at, do you usually have like a different crowd?
Oh yeah, bluegrass people or they like bluegrass and country, but bluegrass, I mean, like the festivals and stuff like I used to go to up in Virginia years ago. They'd have bluegrass festivals, Jim and Jesse, and strictly banjos and stuff like that, strictly bluegrass, and they'd get under a tree and jam, and you know, there's a lot of that going on years ago. It still is today.
Well, this next song you're about to play, 40 Acres in Texas, tell me why you picked Texas.
It kind of rhymed better than, and I tried to put Texas in it and Tennessee, both of the states. In Tennessee's a little state, and then Texas is a big state, and Tennessee's a straight state, you know, and Texas is kind of, you know, whatever, and it's real dry and dusty down there, and nothing any prettier than in Tennessee, you know, as far as beauty is concerned. The mountains and the creeks and lakes and all that, I think we have it all. I've lived everywhere, but this right here is, temperature-wise, is the best place I've ever lived. I like Tennessee.
Well, if you're ready to play, we're glad to hear it.
Well, we'll try one called 40 Acres in Texas.
All right.
I've got 40 acres in Texas, 12 in Tennessee. Girls think they're pretty, I know what they mean. I think I'm gonna take a ride on my old machine. I've got 40 acres in Texas, 12 in Tennessee. Riding that old road hog, she's dressed down real clean. Girls sure look pretty in those tight blue jeans. I think she's awful sexy. She's a real machine. I've got 40 acres in Texas, girls in Tennessee. I was born in Texas, grew up in Tennessee. Tennessee's a little straighter, Nashville's a little mean. I think I'm gonna take a ride back to Tennessee. I've got 40 acres in Texas, 12 in Tennessee. Riding that old road hog, she's dressed down real clean. Girls sure look pretty, you know what I mean. I think she's awful sexy, she's a smooth machine. I've got 40 acres in Texas, 12 in Tennessee. I've got 40 acres in Texas, girls in Tennessee.
Welcome back to Sessions at the Princess. I'm Dylan Russell, and we're here with Billy Wright. All right, Billy. You mentioned something earlier about square dancing in Virginia. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I first started out, I lived in Maryland, and I took up square dance and went to school, learned how to square dance, and then I decided to become a caller, a square dance caller. So I went to a Mac Parker's caller school in Virginia. It's around, it was down in Virginia, and I got and graduated and everything from Callers College. And so then I went out on the road and started calling square dances, you know. And in the square dance circuit, we did used a lot of bluegrass bands and stuff like that of that nature, and a lot of country bands and bluegrass and stuff. But I called square dances in Virginia, Maryland, D.C., and New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all over the country for 8 or 10 years, probably, maybe a little longer.
Oh, wow. Well, being a songwriter, would you have any advice for anyone that kind of writes songs now or is upcoming? And any?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't try to match somebody else. Don't try to act like somebody else. Just be your own person. When you're your own person, there's only one of you. You know, you could be a better singer than the best singer in the world, and it probably wouldn't pay off in the long run. You just need to be your own self. And if you're your own self in your songwriting, then there's nobody else like you. And that's the best advice I can give you, because the people that try to write like other people and sing like other people, I mean, the woods is full of them. There's thousands of them out there. So in being your own self, you'll get a lot of rejections, I'm sure. But if you ever take hold, then you'll do good in life, you know. So.
What about any kind of advice for young upcoming musicians?
Don't give up. Just want it. You know, all you have to do is just make your mind up that you want it and you're going to do it, and it happens. But nothing is easy. I mean, you know, when you get an education, it's not easy. You get a 4-year degree, it's not easy. You've earned it, but you've got to want that 4-year degree, and you got to want to write music. You got to want to sing music. You got to want to perform, and if you want it bad enough, I mean, you just have to have confidence in yourself to do what you want to do, and you can do it. You just have to once you make up your mind you can do it, then the rest is easy. If you enjoy it, if that's your thing that you enjoy. Now, if you're doing something you don't enjoy, I mean, that's not a good thing. I'd take less money and do something I enjoy than be miserable with a big job. I've had big jobs, and I didn't dislike them, but I didn't particularly like them. I like being my own boss, and I like writing songs and singing songs and performing around different places is what I enjoy doing. But I also do it on my own terms. I don't really have to do anything. I do what I want to do on my own terms. Call my own shots.
Well, thanks for the advice, and thanks for the memories.
Sure.
Thanks
for the memories, yeah.
You got one more song for us?
Yeah, I picked out a couple of songs. I just grabbed these songs before I come up here, but this one here is, I don't think anybody's ever heard it again, but I'm probably going to record it somewhere down the road. It's called I Wonder What's Gonna Hurt in the Morning.
All right.
Well, I wonder what's gonna hurt in the morning. I wonder what's gonna hurt the next day. Felt a pain in my head, felt like I was dead. Oh, I wonder what's gonna hurt in the morning. I went out last night, I know it's just not right. Went out, had a drink with all the boys. Got to feeling right, got into a little fight. But I'll know when I wake up in the morning. Felt a pain in my head, felt like I was dead. But I know I'll be alright in the morning. So I'm lying here tonight. What's gonna hurt in the morning? Yes, I wonder what's gonna hurt in the morning. I wonder what's gonna hurt the next day. Felt a pain in my head, felt like I was dead. But I know I'll be alright in the morning. Yes, I wonder what's gonna hurt in the morning. I wonder what's gonna hurt the next day. Felt a pain in my head, felt like I was dead. But I know I'll be alright in the morning. Yes, I know I'll be alright in the morning. She's a smooth machine. I've got 40 acres in Texas, 12 in Tennessee. I've got 40 acres in Texas, girls in Tennessee.